Keep track of all the latest NBA free agency news and off-season reports as the 2023 NBA free agent period is officially open. Nikola Vucevic has agreed to a 3-year, $60 million contract extension with the Bulls. Harrison Barnes has agreed to a 3-year, $54 million contract extension with the Sacramento Kings. The Portland Trail Blazers have waived Trendon Watford. The Brooklyn Nets have traded Joe Harris, a 2027 second-round pick via Dallas, and a 2029 second-round pick via Milwaukee to the Pistons for 2 future second-round picks. Draymond Green has agreed on a 4-year, $100 million contract with the Golden State Warriors. Trey Lyles has agreed to a deal with the Sacramento Kings. Caris LeVert has agreed on a 2-year, $32 million deal with the Cavaliers. Drew Eubanks has agreed on a 2-year deal with the Phoenix Suns. Kyle Kuzma has agreed on a 4-year, $102 million deal with the Washington Wizards. Kobe White has agreed on a 3-year, $40 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. Taurean Prince has agreed on a 1-year, $4.5 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Josh Okogie has agreed on a veterans minimum deal with the Phoenix Suns. Keita Bates-Diop has agreed on a 2-year, $5 million deal with the Phoenix Suns. DeAndre Jordan has agreed on a 1-year, veterans minimum deal with the Denver Nuggets. Damian Lee has agreed on a 2-year, $5 million deal with the Phoenix Suns. Bruce Brown has agreed on a 2-year, $45 million deal with the Indiana Pacers. Jeremy Grant has agreed on a 5-year, $160 million deal with the Portland Trail Blazers. Kristaps Porzingis has agreed on a 2-year, $60 million contract extension with the Boston Celtics. Troy Brown Jr. has agreed on a deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Reggie Jackson has agreed on a 2-year, $10.25 million deal with the Denver Nuggets. Jevon Carter has agreed on a 3-year, $20 million deal with the Chicago Bulls. Chimezie Metu has agreed to a 1-year, minimum deal with the Phoenix Suns. Georges Niang has agreed on a 3-year, $26 million deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Kyrie Irving has agreed on a 3-year, $126 million deal with the Dallas Mavericks. Chris Middleton has agreed on a 3-year, $102 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Jakob Poeltl has agreed on a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Toronto Raptors. Cam Johnson has agreed on a 4-year, $108 million deal with the Brooklyn Nets. Trey Jones has agreed on a 2-year, $20 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. Gabe Vincent has agreed on a 3-year, $33 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Joe Ingles has agreed on a 2-year, $22 million deal with the Orlando Magic. Yuta Watanabe has agreed on a deal with the Phoenix Suns. Shake Milton has agreed on a 2-year, $10 million deal with the Minnesota Timberwolves. Herb Jones has agreed on a 4-year, $54 million deal with the New Orleans Pelicans. Josh Richardson has agreed on a 2-year deal with the Miami Heat. Rui Hachimura has agreed on a 3-year, $51 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Cam Reddish has agreed on a 2-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Julian Champagnie has agreed on a deal with the San Antonio Spurs. Fred VanVleet has agreed on a 3-year, $130 million deal with the Houston Rockets. Dennis Schroeder has agreed on a 2-year, $26 million deal with the Toronto Raptors. O'Shea Brissett has agreed on a 2-year deal with the Boston Celtics. Steph Curry has agreed on a 2-year deal with the Dallas Mavericks. Derrick Rose has agreed on a 2-year, $6.5 million deal with the Memphis Grizzlies. The Washington Wizards have traded Monte Morris to the Pistons for a second-round pick. The Miami Heat have traded Victor Oladipo to the Oklahoma City Thunder to create a $9.45 million trade exception. Desmond Bane has agreed on a 5-year, $207 million contract extension with the Memphis Grizzlies. Tyrese Haliburton has agreed on a 5-year, $260 million contract extension with the Indiana Pacers. Max Strus has agreed on a 4-year, $63 million sign and trade with the Cleveland Cavaliers. In 3-team deal, Heat get a second-round pick, and Spurs get Cedi Osman, Lamar Stevens and a second-rounder. Jackson Hayes has agreed on a 2-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Dennis Smith Jr. has agreed on a 1-year deal with the Brooklyn Nets. Sasha Vezenkov has agreed on a 3-year, $20 million deal with the Sacramento Kings. Vasily J. Misak has agreed on a 3-year, $23.5 million deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder. Thomas Bryant has agreed on a 2-year, $5.4 million deal with the Miami Heat. D'Angelo Russell has agreed on a 2-year, $37 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. Brook Lopez has agreed to a 2-year, $48 million deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Patrick Beverley has agreed on a 1-year, $3.2 million deal with the Philadelphia 76ers. The Knicks have traded Obi Toppin to the Pacers for 2 future second-round picks. Austin Reeves has agreed on a 4-year, $56 million deal with the Los Angeles Lakers. LaMelo Ball has agreed on a 5-year, $260 million contract extension with the Charlotte Hornets. Mo Wagner has agreed on a 2-year, $16 million deal with the Orlando Magic. The Utah Jazz have traded Damian Jones to the Cavaliers. Jay Crowder has agreed on a deal with the Milwaukee Bucks. Dwight Powell has agreed on a 3-year, $12 million deal to return to the Dallas Mavericks. Ty Jerome has agreed on a 2-year, $5 million deal with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Dillon Brooks has agreed on a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Houston Rockets. Jock Landale has agreed on a 4-year, $32 million deal with the Houston Rockets. Russell Westbrook has agreed on a 2-year, $8 million deal with the Los Angeles Clippers. Jalen McDaniels has agreed on a 2-year, $9.3 million deal with the Toronto Raptors. Jack White has agreed on a 2-year deal with the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Houston Rockets have traded KJ Martin to the Clippers for 2 future second-round draft picks. Sandro Mamukelashvili has agreed to a 1-year, $2 million deal with the San Antonio Spurs. Donte DiVincenzo has agreed on a 4-year, $50 million deal with the New York Knicks. Get more NBA updates from Don Toribio Facebook page at YouTube channel. As always, Arriba Tau Gamma Phi.